this thing is getting more traction. It's called quiet quitting. I might have talked about it before. Essentially, people are just doing the bare minimum. They're not taking on any work. The white collar people are shutting their laptops off at 5 o'clock or whenever they clock out and not doing any emails on their own time or any of that crap, answering any texts. Not doing anything that has to do with work because they're not getting paid for it. So that's the problem with these companies, is the double standards. And then you have people, they're probably on my side who think, they got the boomer mentality where like just work hard and that's how you get ahead, and yeah, whatever. If you do work hard, you can get ahead in your personal life, but that doesn't always work well for companies. So what was I talking about? Get distracted by damn cars. If you don't, they don't want to pay you for working extra hard, for working off the clock, whatever. You got pretty much no invested. You're just a rented person. You're just a rented employee. They don't want to pay you extra for doing extra work off the clock, but then they want to, if you don't do your work up to snuff, you get rode up. You get reprimanded. You get looked down on. Some cases you get fired if it continues to happen, or if you screw it bad enough, which makes sense. But I had this. I quietly quit it at my last job. I've seen how they were treating people. Giving us. We had to have 3 days notice that we asked for a day off, or I gave 3 weeks notice and they still denied my day off. But then they would, towards the end, they would start telling me that I had to come in the next day, or like even texting me on my day off telling me I had to come in on a different day. And what I seen is they wanted me to learn, right? Like where I was working, I had to learn this machine, right, to get a raise. And then in order to get that raise, I had to go to a different department and learn that machine. Well, it probably would have taken me, I don't know, 6 months to a year to learn these processes. So I told them I just want to stay level 2. I don't want to move up because I'm not gonna. They should be separate raises, and they did not like that, not one bit. I did my job. I showed up when I'm supposed to show up. I stopped showing up. I didn't do their overtime. I start calling in sick on the overtime days because these companies, they want to own you. They want to put all this extra work on you, but not pay you anymore. They're not running their companies right. They're not allocating work properly to where it should go. And then, like, the leadership is so bad in a lot of these companies. And then the employee has to suffer. And then they wonder why does people quitting? Why are people quietly quitting? Why are they just putting in the bare minimum? Because you don't treat us right. You don't treat us like humans. We are well aware that you could fire us at any moment and then replace us. So And if I work hard, I'm probably not going to move up. I got to kiss their ass to move up. And me, I'm not going to do that. You gotta play politics to move up, all this bullshit. So it's like I'm just there. First off, I'm only there so I'm not homeless. Because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not making any money. I'm not getting ahead. And working 60 hours a week, it's just not worth it to pay all the extra taxes. In my opinion, if I'm gonna work 60 hours a week, dude, I better be having some nice shit, not being a part-time government worker, because that's essentially all you are. Why would I work all that extra? At some point, I'm gonna have to do it to pay off my debt, but I don't think that people are really understanding what's happening in society, especially with men. We don't need a lot to survive. It's quite clear that women don't want the majority of the society, and they look at most of us like we're not good enough for them. They're not attracted to us. So, like, there's no incentive for men to work hard. So what's going to happen, ladies? You're going to see less stuff. You're going to see scarcity. It's going to get worse because there's no incentive for men to work hard. Why would I want to go somewhere? Like, first off, it's probably a toxic environment. I got to worry about people's pronouns, especially like office work. You got to worry about people's pronouns. You say the wrong thing, you get fired. Somebody mistakes it. If a woman feels a certain way, you could end up in HR. So it's like, why bother? Why bother? I don't blame people, dudes, for, not wanting to achieve excellence. You hear all these YouTubers, these red pills, achieve excellence so you can get the women. Well, they don't want us. And if you're short anyway, you're kind of screwed. It's not worth it. It's not worth all the extra work for some woman that doesn't appreciate what I do for her. She's not humble. She's used up by a bunch of different men. Like, women are... Why are women overpriced, though? It's because of simps. It's because of... Why do women have this ego? Because there's so many guys that are just throwing themselves at them online. But they're not doing it in person. Men aren't approaching them, right? Women are complaining all the time. Why do you guys approach me anymore? How comes when I go to the gym, I don't look at any women. I don't look them in the eye. I just keep looking forward. I just ignore their ass. Why is that? I don't want to end up on camera. I don't want to end up on the internet looking like an idiot. It's hard enough to get rejected by somebody, but then to go viral, who the hell wants to go viral for that? Nobody. This environment that we're in is not sustainable, and that's what people need to understand. The quality of living is going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse. And we're bringing it on ourselves. Females expect men to be this They want us to be masculine. They want us to show our feelings. They want us to be this fake person that just doesn't exist. We can't have any fucking flaws, not one. That's what it seems like. Their standards are just too unrealistic. And that's why I say, like, why would men, I see why men want to better themselves for themselves. That's cool. But why would they want to do it for women? Like, an incentive, that's a huge incentive for men to want to better themselves, to want to get to make more money, is to solidify themselves with the opposite sex. But the females just want to sit here and totally confuse men. Men are so confused right now. 100%. They don't see what's going on. A lot of men just don't see what's going on. They're like, women they're not really changing themselves at all. They just change their expectations. They kind of live in this bubble, in this fantasy world. Not all. But where they think that they're a Kardashian. They think they're some kind of they think that they're so special, and because they got a vagina, which we definitely, like, men are that's why men get married, you know, because, like, oh, I'm gonna have this regular I'm gonna have regular sex, when it turns out, like, that's the opposite. I think that comes with the male leadership. I think that a woman will continue to do that if he continues to show interest in her or leads the relationship properly. But if a sexless marriage usually is on the man, dude. But it's on the woman too to keep that attraction, the attraction for the man. It's on both of them. But there's a degeneracy and morality nowadays. This society is so ego filled. Like, people's egos are insane, and the people. I don't even want to talk to most people anymore. All they want to do is talk about themselves. And then if you try to, like, talk in the conversation, it's just like they don't want to listen. All they want to do is kind of like, yep, and then until they get a chance to start talking, or they just talk over you. And that's why you see like situations where dudes are in a relationship and then they want to have a side piece too, totally disrespecting their woman. And it could be like their friend, like their girl's friend, that they're, you know, they're so thirsty, and they're trying to get that ego fulfilled. Well, the problem is, a lot of these guys are not valuable. They can't have that type of lifestyle. And I think that the average man thinks that they can be like Andrew Tate or something, who's completely blowing up right now. Which I like some of the stuff he says, but I think a lot of unless he's being fake on the internet, which he's probably just just selling a personality, kind of like I think Alex Jones does, just sells a personality, they're just playing a character. I probably wouldn't like the dude much in real life. Probably the same with Donald Trump. I probably wouldn't like him too much in real life. But a lot of people they're all about themselves, and this is not sustainable at all. 100% not sustainable. the average person kind of seems like they have this celebrity mentality now. They get a few followers and then they think that like they're better than everybody or they're so special now. This thing is not gonna sustain. Like, the quality of life is gonna go down dramatically, and that's what people need to prepare for, because you're gonna see scarcities. You're gonna see, you know, for instance, you might have a plumbing problem. Like, I was listening to Aaron Clary last night, and he was talking about all this and gave me the idea for this. I probably talked about this before, but Aaron Clary he's saying how women have been pushing for feminism and equality, but they're not picking up the slack in the labor force. Like, if you're gonna take away the prize, you're gonna take away sex, the greatest incentive for men to work hard, then you're gonna have to get your hands dirty. You're gonna have to go out and do these scummy jobs, because it doesn't matter. Like, guys are getting to the point where it's like, I don't fucking care about working I don't care how much you're gonna pay me. I don't care, because yeah, that looks good on paper. Oh man, I'm getting paid. Like, I seen TikTok. Oh, who guys won't even come out here making $42 an hour on overtime. Yeah, but like, dude, when the government steps in there and takes out their cut, it's like 32. Maybe that person makes 25 or whatever an hour normally. Well, like, dude, that it's almost base. It's almost, when the government gets theirs, it's like, it's not even really worth my time to be spending my time. I'd rather be doing things I want to do. So, and the government's not going to stop expanding. It's just getting bigger and bigger and more bloated. How about, instead of paying me overtime, how about I get tax exemptions or some shit? How about that? You know what I mean? How about that? I get tax exemptions. Why would I want to get paid $100 an hour if the government's going to take out like 55%? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I'm just throwing a number out there. Even if it's like, okay, I'm making $60 an hour, which is fucking great. But it doesn't take much for a man to survive. We don't need all that extra shit. Like, honestly, if women just fell off the edge of the earth, like they were just gone, they just disappeared, 80% of our economy would just stop existing, because we don't need that. We don't need all that extra shit, man. We don't need all the extras. Go into a single man's house, go into a bachelor's house, a straight man's house. He's not going to have a bunch of extra shit. He's not going to have all these decorations all hanging up, and he might have a couple things, but not like a woman. Women need all these extras, trinkets, and all this stupid bullshit. They're the ones that are out here buying all this shit. Even Rollo was talking about this yesterday. They dominate buying shit, whether it's for them or for people around them or whatever. Like, women have a big spending problem. You don't hardly hear of any women that are minimalists. They always want more. Whatever they have is not good enough. They want more. Let's redo the bathroom. Well, I mean, it works fine. It's just not the greatest look. No, we need to redo the kitchen. Let's spend all this money. Upgrade. You know what I mean? So it's just, enough will never be enough. But for men, it doesn't take a lot to make us happy. It doesn't. We're pretty basic and simple. We're not the type, men, generally speaking, are either soft or they're strong. They can't fluctuate between masculine and feminine very well. Women can do it. A woman can go and be a CEO at her work and then go home to her man and then be feminine to him. Like, they can do that so easily. Men can't do that. We're wired differently. Guys are really weak or they're really strong. It's just like unrealistic standards, unrealistic expectations. Women are just like blowing up this article on the internet. Oh, the rise of lonely men. Well, okay, yes. There's a lot of guys that are lonely because 80% of men aren't getting any female attention in the society. What do you think is gonna happen? Like, what? Like, think about it. And that 80% of men are the ones that are fucking keeping this infrastructure moving forward. Well, what's gonna happen to your gas? What's gonna happen to your power? What's gonna happen to your groceries? Of course, there's women in these industries too, but it's rare. It's rare to find a fucking woman trash man. It's rare as fuck. These women, I want this, I want that, I want all these rights. Okay, that's cool. I have no problem with that. I don't believe in slavery. But why are you not picking up the slack? If you're going to be strong and independent and you don't need men and you're not going to give them access to you, they don't have incentive to work hard. They're going to play fucking video games. They're going to have vices. They're not going to care. And I don't blame them. That's what I'm trying to say is I don't fucking blame them. Because the juice isn't worth the squeeze. It's not worth it. It's not worth putting on all this work and all this time for somebody that doesn't appreciate what you do. Do it for yourself. And mostly, I'm gonna be honest, men are driven by sex. They're driven by sex. That's the biggest incentive. When you take that away, women, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to see men deleting themselves. You're going to see men just putting the bare minimum. That's it to sustain their life and whatever they want. They're not gonna work hard. You know, you're seeing men go to dolls. It's so funny. When the hell is women gonna look in the fucking mirror? When the hell are they gonna look in the mirror and be like, damn, maybe I'm the fucking problem? No, it's always somebody else. They're the victim all the fucking time. At some point it's gonna happen. It's probably gonna be when shit gets fucking real, man. When we don't have fucking food, or fucking scarcity is big time.